What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? And today we are talking about No Man's Sky. This game has definitely been a lot of fun recently for me because initially I don't always get into these types of games, particularly. It is an open world game. You can do a lot of things. You can mine. You can do a lot of things with this game involved. But with No Man's Sky, it's to me, it's not just because of its open worldness. Being able to vastly interplanetary, basically exploring the whole entire lots of planets in this game, and I think that's where this game really fits the whole entire crux of this game. And not only that, it's not just the exploration of planets per se. It's more on the lines of building a base and knowing how you're going to build your base and what kind of elements to that base, that how you're building it, and what you want to use to build your base as well. And those mechanics within this game really dives deep into this game itself. This game does a really good job of not, I wouldn't say explaining, but it does a really good job of utilizing the mechanics of what you want to do. Whether if it's like mining, whether if you just want to go out and explore and, get these knowledge stones and vice versa and gaining your knowledge from different types of races. But this game is something that I never really thought possible, especially for a gamer as I am, because usually, like I said before, I don't play these types of games in general. I really don't, because I never really thought I would get into this game. And one thing in particular I would really like to say here, though, too, is that I did not get this game on launch, which is quite surprising because usually I get games on launch, but this game I initially waited for. Because I do have friends that actually do play this game as well. But what I will say, I am thoroughly impressed with this game. I'm actually having a blast playing this game in 2023. And the reason why I decided to get into this game, not just this year, but I actually eventually got this game for the first time after maybe about a year and a half of its launch, maybe close to 2 years. And I finally decided, it's like, well, maybe it's about time, getting to know a game that I normally don't usually fall in love with. With all the games I have played for many of years, whether if you're on PlayStation, Xbox, or on PC, but No Man's Sky was no exception. This game is an exception to where I love everything of what this game does and how it utilizes to the utmost of what this game really focuses on a lot of things, as I previously mentioned and stated. But overall, what I love about this game in general, and in a matter of everything really, is the fact that this game does a really good job of a lot of things. Whether if it's exploration or mining and building your bases and that such. But this game really utilizes different ways of how you want to approach things. And that's what I really love about this game as well. And not only that, while I was playing this game yesterday, or as of last night here, is that I was actually able to make underwater caverns. Being able to travel through water. But what you really initially got to do is that if you're going to travel underwater, whether if you're through like the Nautilin, which is a submersive type of vehicle that you can use to go into water, I was actually able to really play a lot of this game for the past few months or weeks or anything. However, is the fact that I was actually able to utilize and find a lot of different types of modules, not just for your character, but for what you're going to be putting on your character per se. And what I mean by that, these modules that I was actually able to obtain through different types of merchants, is that you are able to, you're actually able to be not really, I would say, I'm trying to find that word, so my apologies, but I'm not saying to be totally immortal in terms of, different types of factors of weather changes or anything when it comes to water or freezing or hot or whatever it may be, is that with all these different modules I was able to obtain, these modules were actually able to make me a little bit more pervious to the certain types of elements within each realm of the planets that you so desire to visit. And that's one thing I really want to get into here, though, too, because this is another thing what I love about this game, though, too, is that, not just as I previously mentioned, making those underwater caves and, like using the Nautilin and going into submersive, submerge yourself into water and do that type of exploration. But it's the exploration of ships that you can actually able to obtain, whether the ships are like C rank or B rank or A rank or S rank. The S rank ships are basically going to be the best ships that you can actually get. But it also depends on the maneuverability of the ship. It has to do with the sustainability, the hyperdrive, and the interstellar range of how far you can go in terms of hyperspace. That's what's really cool. And it's not just that. It's like you can do a lot of things with your ship and with your character with different types of modules to be pervious to some type of extent and where this game is going to go if you want to be able to survive on any kind of specific planet that you will desire to infiltrate and go around and explore. But eventually there will be temperature drops, there will be temperature rises, and you have to be very careful of how you are going to be fully equipped with your character with those types of environments. So that's cool, and that's where this game really follows a line of survivability. It's much like what Minecraft does. Minecraft is like that, though, too, but what I feel about No Man's Sky, this game really pertains and really utilizes and it's very heavily emphasized on what you're going to do for your character. It's not just about your character, though, as I previously mentioned, but it has to do with about your ships as well. But when you're out of your ship and exploring, whether if you're like building your bases, whether if you're like just like exploring or getting your knowledge on by looking for these knowledge stones and everything, but like I said, you have to be careful of where you're gonna go because you will eventually like lose oxygen, or if you're underwater, or you will eventually like lose some health, and you definitely have to recharge. So that's where the survivability comes in when it comes to No Man's Sky. And normally, because there are other games that kind of have that type of capabilities. But I think that's what makes No Man's Sky very different from that other games from 7 Days to Die, Minecraft, and other games that are maybe somewhat similar to. But I think No Man's Sky just does something a little bit better than I fully anticipated or be fully aware of, because I just think that No Man's Sky does an amazing job in all fronts. I really think that it's definitely one of the best experiences I've ever had when it comes to intergalactic exploration and, scanning these planets and knowing what these planets are, what the stats are for that type of planet, whether if it's like a desert planet or like a barren planet or icy planet or a hot planet. All these different planets that you will eventually explore, because you basically have to click down on the L3 pad of your joystick, whether if you're on Xbox or on PlayStation. I don't know what the controls are on PC because I am a PC gamer to a certain degree, but however, I don't know what the control scheme for this game is on PC, so that's why I'm talking more about console when it comes to Xbox or on PlayStation. But when you press on the L3, you are able to scan certain types of environments of these different types of planets. And that's where you are able to get the certain types of stats of those planets and how you are going to just initiate how to to any kind of circumstance of what these planets are going to be to you in terms of the exploration. And I think that's a key factor when it comes to this game as well. And like I said, I am thoroughly impressed with this game. I really am. And I previously mentioned, it's like I have never been so invested in it. Well, actually, that's a little bit of a lie, because I haven't been invested in a lot of games this whole entire year of 2023. And I will say one thing, is that No Man's Sky is definitely one of the I don't think it's definitely just not one of the best, big exploration type of game as it is, but I have played other games that type of genre or that type of ilk. And I really think that No Man's Sky just does an amazing job when it comes to any kind of exploration, or whether if you just like want to go up with your ship and do some intergalactic fighting. It's awesome. I love the controls. And one thing I really do want to put in here though too is like what I really love about this game as well is the fact that when you control your ship, as I previously mentioned, along with your character, with different types of modules and able to survive certain types of survivability when it comes to temperature, and oxygen if you're in water, and you had to like recharge these certain types of modules in order to maintain your character at full 100% potential. And that's where when it comes to ships, when you find a good intergalactic ship and be able to use it for jack of all trades, whether if you just want to do exploration or if you want to like find out different types of interpretations of different types of outposts by using different types of modules that you are actually able to obtain, that's going to be in a different video. So my apologies on that if I being a little bit cryptic there. But however, that's what I love about this game. This game is always going to be different when it comes to its exploration. I felt like that when any other exploration type of game, even when it comes to Skyrim or Far Cry, I do believe that everything just felt like the same. But with No Man's Sky though, it's always going to be different. It always felt different to me, and that's what I love about this game though too. And I think that's where No Man's Sky just really does an amazing job of that type of exploration and within the flow of the environment of each type of planet that we'll eventually be visiting. No matter if it's like I previously mentioned. So I intend to repeat myself, so my apologies on that. But I'm just putting that out there. One thing I would really like to put in here too is that I really think that when it comes to, as I was going to mention about when it comes to ship, having your fighter ship, you had to have certain types of modules in order to be more efficient within your hyperdrive range, or your damage per second, or your stability, like your maneuverability, and as such, you got to know how you're going to be able to put those modules in. And that's where and that's one thing I would really like to put in here though too, because that's where the role-playing, there are some role-playing elements within No Man's Sky. I mean, yes, there are some role-playing mechanics in this game as well, but it's not deeply emphasized. I feel like that when it comes to the role-playing elements with No Man's Sky, there's a lot of it. There's much more role-playing elements within this game, and less on the role-playing itself, even though that there are some role-playing mechanics involved. But I feel like that when it comes to No Man's Sky, I just think that it does a really good job of its utilization in both of those types of aspects and concepts of this game in general. And I think that's what makes this game so fun and so great. And like I said, I am having a ball. I can't believe I'm so glad I didn't pick this game up at launch, because I know that this game had a rough launch of its first year when this game initially came out. And I'm glad I had definitely held off, because it's like, well, I'm like, okay, do I really want to get this game at full price on launch day? And I'm like, no, I think I'm going to wait. And like I said, I am so glad I finally waited. And I will tell you right now, this game is definitely worth playing in 2023. So that's all I got to say about that. But anyways, I'm actually going to be cutting this video short. This video is actually way too long. And so I just really want to put my own 2 cents out there about this game and what I truly think about this game in general. And I'm really glad I was able to do so. But what I will say, one thing here real quick as well, do I 100% highly recommend this game in 2023? Absolutely yes, 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 yes. So, to much further ado, any comments or questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to reply back if and whenever possible. And you guys have a good rest of your week, and I'll chat at you guys later. Peace.